to the Call to Action podcast. It's your girl, Danielle, here, hanging out with my dear good friend, Kelsey.
Hey, guys. Happy to see you.
Mr. Billy Belford.
What up? What it do?
And Mr. Paul Denuzio.
With me, it's PLD.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? We're all super excited to be here. We're talking about New York. New York.
We were in New York.
Yeah. I have one question. I have one question for you.
Oh, we New York. Oh, we New York. That was the best thing.
I'll tell you right now, there's a debate going on in what is the best pizza. Like, people keep arguing about New York, Chicago, whatever. 2 o'clock drunk pizza with Paul Denuzzo and Danny is the best pizza. That's the best.
It
pizza.
is. Absolutely.
Done and dusted.
That 99-cent pizza.
At 2 in the morning, or everyone drunk off your ass, it is good.
It was good.
So good.
It was very good. I don't know if any of y'all noticed in that sweet little gift that Mr. Belford made for me, that little cheese pool. Nice.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
Yes. It was a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today and joining us in this chat. We're super excited to talk about New York. There was a lot of things that happened. It was a big event for the Action Army altogether. We got a big shout out during the Schmodown. We're going to talk about that later. But we're all super pumped to talk about this whole weekend. We were there since Thursday. Kelsey was there since Wednesday.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Belford was too. He drove me.
Belford
right.
was the official list
Best
of
Uber
the
driver
Action
ever.
Army for this whole weekend.
Belford bus. Get out of the bus, baby.
Belford bus.
Get on the Belford bus, yes.
Belford
I'm
bus.
a professional driver, everyone. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Haskell in the chat.
Haskell is the
Thank
man.
you.
We're going to come and talk about
I'll tell you what, if you want to go to New York, you should be friends with Eddie, because Eddie is the man. Like,
He really is. He really is.
Definitely.
So that
Late night C2A, absolutely 100%. We were hanging out because we wanted to watch Andrew and Ben's live stream. And before we get started with that, y'all, I was in the group chat. I was trying to prep for this, and I was in the group chat, and the love that C2A got in that group chat was so overwhelming. Yeah. I just wanted to cry. Oh my goodness, we love all of y'all so much.
We love you.
Ben and Drew kind of talked about it in their stream. I hope you all watched their stream. If you are watching this stream and didn't watch that stream, hi. Hi.
hello?
But
What?
definitely, Ben and Drew talked about it a
us.
little bit, and how this whole podcast kind of really started just talking about Ben and Andrew and Team Action and the things that they were doing, and just kind of really getting into their characters and talking shit about the league. And it's grown into all of this. And y'all, like, thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
We love you. We appreciate it.
Family. Action family.
Yes.
Action family.
Action family. And that's why we were all there on Thursday to watch this super amazing live event. Ben and Andrew put on Action Movie Anatomy Live. We all had a great fucking time. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
It was amazing.
Seeing Drew
And then,
as
like, typical.
seeing Drew as MacGruber. Dressing up as MacGruber, it was like the best part of the night because he pulled it off so perfectly.
MacGruber.
So great. Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, there were so many things that happened during that, like, Action Live. Like, because, like, first they come out as Team Action, like, which was amazing. Like, you know, the full, like, sunglasses, you know, being dicks to everyone, like, so great. Then they start. Then they
I got
start.
nostalgic.
Yeah, right.
Blast from the past a little bit.
And there was a certain video for Action Movie Anatomy for MacGruber.
I
Mr.
know,
Will
right?
Forte? Are you kidding me?
MacGruber?
Holy smokes! Like, it was MacGruber as Bateman from
American Psycho.
American Psycho. Yeah, like that was so good. Oh my god! Like,
Love you too, girl.
We love you so much, Alex. Alex was also there with us. Alex and Danny were also there with us, hanging out at this event. So they got to go to that show as well. It was a lot of fun. So much love for Alex. So much love for Danny. Oh my goodness, y'all.
Lucas, so much love for Lucas.
So much love for
Lucas.
Yep.
Lucas, we love you.
So a bunch
This is
of
for
questions
Alex.
about
This is just for Alex.
how many of us are White Claw. How many of us are going to Orlando? I think there's a sizable action army that's going to Orlando. I think the Belford bus is going.
Orlando.
I'm
The
not
Belford bus will be in Orlando. Kelsey's not going as of right
not
now.
going.
Kelsey and I are like looking at flights and saying we shouldn't go.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Not
how
the right
many
decision,
times
but
you get an opportunity to be plucked out of the crowd by Wonk Harloff or
Oh.
Willie Harloff or and to be on stage and answer questions or just yell things at the audience. That's what I'll be doing if I get picked. I'll basically just screaming at the audience the whole time. That's my goal.
Mr. Lancaster. General Lancaster.
Who?
General Lancaster.
Who?
We remember.
Who's that?
That's a general chat thing that I'm not a part of, but I can context clues it
snap.
together enough to laugh at it. So
Eddie's gonna be in Orlando. Yes, Eddie.
There he is.
Eddie's
Yes.
the man.
Skirt 77, our first and long time fan, says hi.
The king of the action of the action industry's Discord. Scourge is like all over that thing, man. He's like the discussion king of there. But yeah.
So let's talk
What
about
else?
the show.
Action
What else is the show? Oh, as you all go silent all of a sudden.
I'm so sorry. I totally forgot all about this.
Oh, that's right.
Penguin.
Why do you have
It's
the
my
worst?
Penguin.
You got the worst of the two. You didn't get the guy apple.
I did not get the guy in Apple. I believe Janine Machine has the matching set to my Penguin. Thanks to Denny Cost. Thank you so much, Denny, for my little Penguin.
Ben is a penguin. He's always wearing suits, like a tuxedo.
It does kind of look like
it's on brand for Ben. He does have giant eyes in certain pictures.
Yeah. Accurate. Truth spoken
That's
there.
true. That's very true.
So Action Live continued. It was an AMA. It was a good AMA. Like kind of like when they got to some of like the standard AMA stuff, like the production notes. That was kind of like when we were like, all right, this is all right.
After the show, but yeah.
Chat like saying funny things to each other. We got to do live, so that's how it works.
It was a moment in there where we had the production notes where I believe Chris Doman from that other show got a trivia question wrong. So they're calling us out about trivia. They got the trivia question wrong about the release date. So that's just a feature.
He was correct. Called out Ben Bateman. Mr. Movie release dates. Called him out. Not Scott, man. Screw that guy.
I don't know who y'all are talking about.
That's fine. Things happen.
Y'all are talking about.
Well, Danny got a little bit indisposed at one point. It was a little, but it's okay. We were all drinks were had.
Drinks were had by all.
Drinks were had by all. Some were in better shape than others throughout the weekend. It's all good.
It's okay.
Back to the Airbnb. That she was being a good soldier, scouting out the route back to the Airbnb.
Yeah. I was making sure that everyone was safe. No one was going to break into our Airbnb. Kim took me back home. Shout out to Mama Denuzio. Love her so much. I was just making sure the Airbnb was safe, y'all. Like, I was so worried about the damn Airbnb. I had to go back.
We appreciate
every
that.
room.
We appreciate you so much.
Like, she was in, picture all
multiple rooms.
Multiple rooms.
She did a good job checking to make sure my room was safe. It was fine. It was great.
It's a big Airbnb. I got lost.
I think we kind of all were a little bit,
true.
to be fair.
I don't drink. I was the sober one. Like, I have the best memory of anyone. All right. If you want the real scoop, if you want the real tea,
we always post like chats of people who are doing the chat. We post like the comments they make and everything else. But I got something even better. I got a picture of some of our fans watching us right now. So here you go.
That's great.
It's our number one fan and Brandon Hanna.
Faces.
Yay, we love you guys.
Oh, we love you guys. We love you.
Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are the best.
Not like last time where they were in separate rooms laughing. Together, guys.
What were they laughing at?
something.
Flash! Mr. Sam Jones. And like that, he's gone.
That never gets old.
That's the whole.
This could start some new controversy in the MTS page. All right, let's leave it alone. Like, we've been through this. All right.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. We go to card number controversy. So the after the AMA was over, we got into Ben performing on stage for the first time in I think it was 9 years, performing music on stage. Got to perform a little Def Leppard Hysteria, which was great. Got to perform
with a wig.
With the wig. Oh, with the wig.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Get a picture of him with the wig on. I got some. I'll send you one.
So I did not take as many pictures as I wanted to take.
Yep.
That's so good.
That's a good one.
Got it right there.
I got another one, Paul. I sent you another one just so you know if you want to use that.
You did.
But yes, Hysteria was great. My favorite thing. So there was one like the action live was going great. It was so good. And there was like one table that clearly wasn't there for Ben and Drew. Like they just came in off the street. And they were just like in their own little world. They were like talking and like it was really kind of annoying. It was whatever. It wasn't distracting Ben and Drew, so it was fine. But as soon as Ben starts playing Hysteria, the dude at that table was like the #1 Ben Bateman fan. Like he's got the reflect right out. Yes, there he is.
Oh,
very nice.
Could have a new shirt in Orlando.
Look at that face.
Could have a new shirt in Orlando, guys. Like the one guy was just like so into it. He's like, you can do, you got it. Oh, you're killing it. Oh yeah, get it, dude. Yeah. I was like, good God. But yeah.
Yes, that's true. That is actually a fact.
Truth.
I coined that phrase. Thank you.
I will say one thing about Faithfully that as a serious part, and we don't get very serious in the show, but there's the one part at the end where it goes really high, like really super high. Go Faithfully, that whole part. And like Ben did it a measure later than it does in the video, that does in the song. And I was like, oh, I realized that like he was nervous about it. And he almost didn't know that, can I do it? And then he went for it.
Yeah.
And he did.
I gotta say, he kicked ass. So.
It was great.
I mean, Ben killed it, but he was super nervous.
Like, yeah, you could tell.
Like he was at times he was like shaking. Like it was like, but yeah, he definitely killed it. That was so he sang the one song, or did he sing both songs? And he asked, and then he asked if we wanted more songs, or was it after the first song?
I think it was after the first song.
After the first song.
Yeah, he's like, do you want me to sing 2 more songs, or do you want me to sing one and have Drew come back out?
Yeah, then Drew.
We're like, more songs.
Yeah, everybody was like, 2 songs. And he's like, all right, I'll do one song and have Drew come back out. It's like, okay. And then the magic happened of that reveal.
The highlight.
Of Andrew Guy.
And then the show ends, and it's great. Everybody is excited. And then some of us weren't under we didn't understand the rules of how the comedy club worked. Because then all of a sudden, they threw in a walk-on comedian, and we're all kind of like, what's this going on? Are we supposed? We learned later on. I guess that's when like they throw people on the stage to kind of like weren't like to cool you down as you pay your tab and stuff. Just kind of need a little more. By the time we're like, are we supposed to like sit through somebody else? And I guess it bought Ben and Drew time to get ready out in the lobby.
Kyle Grandietti, shout out to him. He loved the comedians after Ben and Drew.
Thank you, Rachel, for that. Yes, he did. He really did. That's awesome. Us singing helped him relax. We did. That place was loud.
It was great. That was like that was an awesome moment. All of us singing backup. It just made it sound so cool, and the whole family together. It was great. I loved it.
It was nice.
It was nice also because he shouted out a lot of people in the Action Army that were there, like different things they did, and like everybody got a huge ovation every time. So it was really kind of really cool. But
shouted out every single Action Industries member who was there. Mm-hmm. Every single one.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Yep, all of them.
Sorry, buddies.
All of them.
All of them. Yep, I heard it.
I heard everyone.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Alex doesn't even have a job in Action Industry. No, Runs the Discord. I forgot.
Anyway, so we go out to the lobby area where Ben and Drew are signing their merch. And we decided at that point, well, we decided a long time ago that we needed to talk to Christian Harloff about introducing a new Team Bateman shirt.
Well, he said on Collider Live when he was on there that he wanted a new Team Ben shirt. So we support Ben. You know, he's our friend.
You're very loyal.
So we wanted to make him a shirt.
So should we post a picture of us in the shirt first, or should we post our source material first? Or
how about the video? Let's play the video of Ben's reaction to his new shirt that I think he loves. He
loves it. You can just see it in his eyes how much he loves it.
I will warn you that it is a little lower quality to get quite a big shot, but the audio is more important than the video anyway. So give me 1 second to set that up, but we're gonna have a little fun here with this.
Ben's, just signing autographs, talking to the fans,
and
being all cool.
Here we go.
What the fuck?
I was horrified as you are.
Fuckers!
Sign all these.
We love you.
Team Bateman shirt.
We love you so much.
Bateman, bro. Why did I ever take that fucking picture?
What? For like a second, and I got it.
Capture.
That's true, Brad. That is true.
And this is what Ben.
You're all fired. You're all fucking fired. I sent it to Drew, and I'm like, you think he'll get mad?
I was like,
He's like, what is that?
I go, where the fuck did you get this picture?
He's like, why the fuck did he put it online?
I'll be honest. These are all the true things I said. This is for
only the best of friends.
Benny.
So are you gonna sign this for us, Ben?
Team Bateman.
Are we gonna sign this for us, Ben? And he did. He signed it right across his mouth for us, so it was great. All right, let me get that out of there now. But now I will actually show you our source material. This happened on a stream one night. And I don't know why Ben posted this, and I don't know why he thought he could get away with posting this, and that we weren't going to take advantage of it in any way possible. But here's our best friend, our new source for our Team Bateman. There's Ben Bateman.
It's so good.
What? What was he thinking? He knew that I was in the chat that night. Like he knew. Oh, making boom boom in his nappy.
So we should put that one down, and I'll show us the actual shirt. Better picture of the four of us that had the shirts on. There we go. The Hitman, myself, Billy, and Janine the Machine.
Janine, on her birthday. Happy birthday, Janine. That was our birthday present. That was our birthday present to her. Was that shirt? And these are quality shirts, guys. Quality shirts. All right? We didn't cheap out. They were American Apparel shirts, really nice. Ben's like an American Apparel model, so I went with the American Apparel shirt.
Absolutely, that's what there. So anyway, we actually had a great time with that. We actually had a cool thing happen too, where we had somebody come to the show and want to talk to Ben and Drew afterwards about getting a video out to his friend who was a longtime fan who was getting married, and Ben and Drew, as cool as they are, they just absolutely. So they did a quick video and it made the guy's night. The guy sent us a text later on saying it made the guy's night. He was all excited about it, so that was fun as well. And then after that, I don't know how many of you out there know my wife. My wife is very assertive, take control, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
she's a sweetheart. I've never had any interaction with Mama Danuto where she's been anything short of fantastic.
Well, while we are all going, oh, what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do now? Kim got this Yelp up, and she got a karaoke bar that was close by. And next time you know, even before anybody else knew, half the audience was on their way to the karaoke bar.
Karaoke.
Some of them were on the way to the wrong karaoke bar because apparently there was a closer one of the same name. We went to the, in typical Action Army style, we went to the further karaoke bar of the same name. We walked farther than we needed to. That's how we do.
Got our steps in. We're fine. We survived.
Both of you actually know. No, it is actually Kim, also, but you are also Rachel. You are also very assertive. So that's
shout out to Danny Coast. That was his idea to go to karaoke.
Absolutely.
And
great decision.
Drew and Ben were, as soon as they heard about that, they were like, all about it.
All in.
So once we got that going, we wrapped them up and everything else, and Drew's girlfriend was there, which is awesome, meeting Ash, and they got their merch together and they went back, and then we all went out to karaoke. Well, most of us did. Sorry, Danny.
A lot of us.
She had to guard the Airbnb.
Danny had to guard the Airbnb.
Trying to make sure the Airbnb was safe. Jeez.
She did a great job. You know,
no one broke in. All of our stuff was still there. It was fine.
Everything was there.
Everything was there. All of our clothes was still there. So
everything was still there. I had a great time at the Action Live event. Very obviously, I had a really good time. Yes, it was.
And then we were at karaoke where we went nuts. We had everybody sing everything. We had Brandon Hanna, the Hitman, singing Backstreet Boys. We had Matt Kernsey singing I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, trying to hit those high notes. And I think he hit them. I was really drunk at that point, so I don't know if he hit them or not. Sounded good, though.
Well, like, it's funny because we walk into this karaoke bar, and it's clearly, like, there's only, like, 6 people in there. And they're clearly, like, the same 6 people who go there, like, all the time. Mm-hmm. And they're all singing, but, like, none of them care about each other's songs, like, at all.
Right. That's what
and then all of a sudden 40 of us walk in there, or however many it was, and like, shout out to the only member of D2A that we like, Chris Toman. He started the night out for in this group of 40 people. He was the first one to sing, and he sang Uptown Funk, and
it was great.
Like, it was a party. Like, him singing was alone was a party. But yeah, and then from there, like Paul said, like, that's when it, like,
who else we got? Ben. Oh, one of the best. I wish I had a video of this. Was when Ben and Liam Crowley, Action Industries Liam Crowley, the tall drink of water, who actually was about as tall as some of the skyscrapers in New York, where it is pretty close. They sang "Wanted Dead or Alive" and rocked the joint pretty well.
Alex sang Hamilton.
Yep. Hamilton.
With somebody sang with her. I can't remember who sang with her.
I believe
tons of people.
Kim was there. Klaus was there.
The kid who got his buddy his shout out video. I think it was him, Luke. I think Luke sang with her.
I was so pissed because somebody took Bohemian Rhapsody from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, not only that, but they sang it horribly.
That's a shame.
And it's funny because it's to sing it was $2 a song unless it was Bohemian Rhapsody, and then it was $5 a song. And that guy wasted $5.
Totally did.
I'll say there was nobody there that sang as good as any of us did until that one guy sang. I don't know what, like, with a super deep voice. I can't remember what he sang, but his voice was like perfect for whatever.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but
it was amazing. I was like, "Who are you?"
Speaking of karaoke, if some of you saw our stream last week, and Rachel Silvestrini had sent us a video that we could share that for whatever reason didn't work. Well, I decided to upload it to my YouTube, and we can watch that. Here's a little snippet of the karaoke from that night with our own Kelsey as well. We got to share audio. Why don't we forget to share audio?
Don't share audio.
Oh, I'm sharing audio. Let's see, ready? Drew is some more interpretive dance.
Yes. Nick Gruber, I love it. Sorry. Oh, Nico's right. It was What a Wonderful World. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, if I was there, I would have been reliving my sophomore high school dreams. Yay!
Yeah.
I think Mike Kalinowski sang a song that night too. Didn't he sing like the anthem to some 80s movie? I can't remember what it was.
I think it was a great movie. What was the sound? But
like
definitely it was.
I think Sam Jones.
Flesh! Mr. Sam Jones. And like that, he's gone.
Every
I gotta say,
time.
Yes, right?
Good.
that almost makes me like Kevin Spacey again. Almost.
Oh.
Hot take.
I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. That's the proudest thing I've ever done in my life.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
It really doesn't get old. That is the best thing.
It's
Drew sang something. What did Drew sing? He
Float On.
last week. Float On, that's right.
Float
I love
On
that he
with
couldn't
Danny
remember that he sang last week.
He's like, I didn't sing, did I? Did I?
When he was on his stream midweek, he was like,
We're all like, float on, Drew.
Sadi, gotta send a big shout out to Sadi really quickly. She's leaving, but we love her. We had a great time.
Hi,
You, Sadi. Love you so much, girl.
Janet, that clip brings Janice out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Oh, Janice, yes. I love it, Janice.
The champ also gets out. I think despite James Spence, we could win the after show just for that video alone. So.
James Spence gonna be so mad. That's the reason why we win.
Oh boy.
Oh man. So that was the karaoke night pretty much. Anything else about the karaoke night? You remember anything else that was we should touch on?
After that, everything's a little blurry. Nope, we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're all good, guys.
I've been up for like 36 hours at that point. So yeah, I don't remember much.
Driving everyone around.
I was hallucinating at that point, so
And we had 2 days left to go through at that point. So
yeah.
Oh my god, right.
So we got that. We went back. I think we went to sleep at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Crash.
So that means we're taking it now to Friday, which of course centered around the Mark Ellis comedy show, which was great. It was just something I attended for the second time. Okay, really only the first time. I was at the building in Houston, but I was too drunk to actually go to the actual show. No, I went to the show this time.
You went to the show, ordered a drink,
good reason
and left. And your drink just sat there, and then we had to close out your bill, so we had to go find you.
Rachel, if Rachel's in the chat, if Rachel Silverstream is in the chat, she will vouch for the fact that I got waylaid and started talking to both her and Drew about the family and inking the brain, and I was drinking more tequila. And it was not my fault. It was drinking tequila with them. That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, that's a good excuse, Paul.
All right, let's focus on the show that Paul actually attended.
Saw.
So, did anything happen before that you want to touch on? Anything happened?
Well, we went and watched the match together at the Airbnb, which was fun because it was the first time I'd ever watched a match with people. And like I even took a picture of it on Facebook. I'm like, I found my tribe. It was great.
The best part about that, I said this in the stream, but I'll say it again. The best part about that was watching a Mark Riley match with the biggest Mark Riley fan of all time.
Yeah.
Matt.
Little baby.
The best was so we're sitting in the room and like we're watching it on a laptop and everyone's kind of sitting throughout the room and Kernsey is at the back of the room. So every time anything happens with Riley, whether he misses a question or gets it right, everyone in unison turns back to look at Kernsey. And finally, after like the fourth or fifth time, he's like, what do you want? What? What do you want from me?
I hate watching passes with people. Everyone's always looking at me. Man, he fist bumped it when Riley got that right answer, though.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun to watch. To to be inside of the Airbnb and, like Kelsey said, being around a bunch of people that watch the show, because I don't watch it with anyone either. Whenever I watch it, I'm sitting down at home by myself on my laptop or sitting down in the car on my phone or something like that. So it was a lot of fun to be able to watch it with a bunch of people and see everyone's reactions with it. It was
fun.
I watch with other people, but only because I only watch live events. I don't watch any nothing tape delayed for me. No.
Obviously. All right.
Oh yeah. So after we watched the match, we finally we go to this. Did we go to the bar? I don't remember what we did after we watched the match. I think we just went to the comedy show.
No, we went to brunch.
Yeah, went to brunch.
Oh yeah,
that
was before the match.
Yeah.
We went to brunch because I woke up just in time to go to brunch because that's Paul Denuzio taps me on my foot, and apparently I flipped out, not knowing what the hell was going on or where I was.
I guess I could be a scary, imposing figure, I guess.
I had 2 hours of sleep in 36 hours, all right, guys? And I drove people a lot, all right? So...
It was very sleepy.
Yeah, we went to lunch or brunch. Brunch was great. We had Champs Brunch. It's good stuff.
Champs Brunch.
It comes into play later on. But
my mission to find the greatest chicken and waffles on the planet continues. If anybody says Roscoe's, get out of here. Not there. No, didn't find him there.
No.
So, but yeah.
Then at that point we went to Mark Ellis's comedy show. At that point, pretty much, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We got in there. We all got pretty decent seats. We all went to warm our way in. Basically, I think because Kim was assertive again.
Yeah.
I think we started.
Oh yeah, we all started arguing with the guy. We're like, we're sitting together. You're sitting over there.
Yeah, you guys had already walked in before we did. Rachel Silvestrini was still in there, so I was like, I'm gonna sit with you because they're only letting people go in order like that. And then as soon as we walk in, I see Kim, Danny. Danny. We already got you a seat.
He really is
the best
Yes. And
the best part of that story.
It was right in the front. I have really terrible social anxiety. I use the restroom quite often, so I always hate to go in front of. I like having to walk in front of the stage while someone's doing their set. That small stage, it was so terrible. So like having to sit right in front was, but it was so much fun. I'm so glad that Kim put me in that seat. We had so much fun. Oh my gosh!
Shout out to John Mariano.
Yeah.
Clearly, Christian Harloff needs Kim for the next time he goes to the comedy show because they were talking on Collider Live about how they didn't want to sit up front, but the guy made them sit up front.
I was like, you're going
and
there.
I feel like Kim would have been like, no, they're not sitting up front.
They're sitting back there.
They will sit where they're
sitting back there.
This is Christian motherfucking Harloff.
Yes, Kim is very assertive. She gets what she wants.
And we love her for it.
So much.
Again, she just charmed her way through it. She's a charming person. She's
so amazing.
She's my best friend. We bonded over we bonded over our hatred for people. It was good stuff.
That did happen at one point.
It happened. We'll get to that. But yeah, so the comedy show starts. Vince Chang.
Yes, he was the guy.
Was the MC.
Mm-hmm.
He
a lot of fun.
Was great, super fun. Yeah. Half Jamaican, half Chinese.
Kim too, obviously. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, half Jamaican, half Chinese.
Yes.
I think what he said. Hilarious set. Then they had I can't remember her name. She was hilarious, but she was
another any names.
A comedian.
I don't remember either.
A really funny female comedian who was funny. Then of course we got the big event.
The big event.
Where Vince Chang is introducing someone and he's like, you know him from Collider Live. And everybody's like, oh, well, Brett was on Collider Live.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, he's the host of Collider Live.
Then he said the host of Collider Live. And people were like, well, Brett's not the host. Like, what's he talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
let me interrupt real quick. This is why he's champ. He's champ. He has things he knows things about.
He knows
we don't need to know about. Of the
comedian,
the female comedian.
I told you last week, stop having knowledge that's not movie trivia in your brain. You need to purge that out. You're the champ. People are gunning for you, champ. Come on. These are it. You don't even need to know our names, all right, Paul? Like, we're not in movies, so just.
Dwayne.
All right, Dwayne can know. Dwayne probably has it like on a like.
He's got it in a photograph somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
He's got photo boards for it, you know. But yeah, so then he says the host of Collider Live, and we're all like, Brett's not the host, you big dummy. And then he goes, for the first time in 13 years, is that what Harloff said?
12 years?
11.
12 years?
Something like that.
Something long. A really long time.
Very
Over
long
a decade.
time.
Oyama, don't tell us, Oyama. We know you know. Don't tell us. All right?
No, Paul, tell us.
Yeah, please tell us. Now I want to know.
I'm going to say 11. That's my guess. But
I say 12.
Somewhere in that range.
I think Chelsea's right.
I think it's 12 as well. I think Paul's wrong as usual. And he says Christian Harloff, and we're like, what? The place goes crazy. They're chanting his name, like standing ovation.
We all were.
I screamed pretty loud.
It was nuts. It was super crazy to see him come out and just the way that he came out and all of that stuff. Oh man, I'm so happy that we went. It was such a treat.
It was so great.
So good.
It was. And he was funny for someone who just
Yeah.
wrote material like that day and like was working out like an hour before the show at that point. Still, I mean, that was great.
It was great.
It was great.
Oh yeah, we should say, who else was sitting there with Christian before the show? We had Ben came to the comedy show, and friend of the Call to Action podcast, and also on Collider Live,
and
Roxy
our manager.
Stryer. Our manager. That's right, our manager. Roxy
Close
Stryer.
personal friend of me.
Close personal friend of Roxy Stryer.
Of me.
On
Yeah.
the show.
Manager of the year.
Manager of the
Manager of the year. Sorry, Kaiser. Manager of the year.
Very excited. Happy to see you.
She came over to me before the show, walked across the stage, as you do, gave me a hug because we're best friends. Said hi to you guys. And then
I actually
acknowledged your presence. Was like, hey, you guys are here too. And yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh
That
my gosh. But yeah, so then Harloff jumps on stage and also Ben was in the front row, but who cares about him? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we looked over and all we saw was
Yep. That's what we saw from across the stage, the whole show.
The whole night. Oh yeah, with the two guns. Who has the two guns anymore? Harloff was fantastic. Also, Harloff's opening joke was very interesting, considering that Vince Chang, the MC, was half Jamaican and half Chinese.
And he was like talking about Chinese. It was
so.
At least he leaned into it. He leaned into it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he talked about going viral, about getting upset about not getting the invite to the Star Wars land opening. I thought that was
that was great. Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
That was so funny.
That was good. I mean, it was good to see him address it like that, and in that capacity, like being on stage like that, because that's where you can do shit like that. Yeah, so it was fun.
He also did the samurai sword joke, which is
which is good. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and he tooled it for now, so that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely worked well.
So then he only did like 5 minutes, I think, maybe a little more than 5 minutes. Then Vince Chang comes back on and Night Caleb. I assume Caleb's already in bed. He introduces again from Collider Live. Brett gets another standing ovation, they're chanting his name, and Brett killed it, absolutely. Yeah. Brett was the funniest person in Houston, and Brett was again the funniest person in New York, and was amazing, so
Speaking
good.
of Roxy, Brandy in the chat, the moderator of Roxy's live stream. She's going to join us in Call to Action.
Brandy!
Over for the Rockstar Army when we go visit the Roxy streams.
When we go invade that chat.
Now she's with us. So Rockstar Army's here too, and that's good.
Yeah. We love a Brandy.
So yeah, and of course there's another guy between Brett and Mark. He was good too. I don't remember his name either. Maybe Paul's gonna chime in with that too.
I thought that he had
chime in with all the names.
He had the toughest job
of
anybody. Because like standing ovation and chanting your name for 2 people in a row, and then it's like Paul said, it's dead silence. It's like, but by the end of it, everyone's laughing. He got a good ovation to end.
He did. So
people were nice.
Yeah. And then we had Mark Ellis, which that was freaking funny as hell. I wish I'd seen Houston kind of. Well, yeah. So, but
Mark Ellis is the most professional comedian I've ever seen live. And I've seen a lot of comedians. Like I've gone to a lot of comedy shows. Like Mark Ellis is. It's the kind of professional where like when you're doing it doesn't look like you're like it looks like you're just acting natural. Like he fits on stage. The stage is natural to him.
Yeah,
it was so good.
I mean, just so easily, just talking to people left and right, joining people in, making y'all feel like it didn't feel like a comedy show. It almost felt like it was just Mark Ellis talking to us in our living room in a way. It was just, but it's funny because he's always funny.
He's awesome.
I was part of the set.
You were part of the set.
Not the best part of the set, but
But that was a great set.
I'm gonna put that on a picture. On a
I loved it. Mark Ellis did some jokes about, like, he kind of did some jokes about Danny Fernandez, and I love Danny Fernandez so much.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun to kind of to get those jokes that he was doing with it and talk about that stuff. So I really enjoyed his set. It was really fun to see him live and to just see him in his element. I've always wanted to watch Mark Ellis do a live stand-up special or just a live show. So that was really fun. And I'm excited to see his special when it does come out. That Dog Stepfather. I thought that name was hilarious.
So yes, funny. It was.
Oh, yeah, so good.
So
yeah.
Eric Frederick said that not that he wasn't funny, but Mark's set when he saw him in Orlando was a bit better. I will say this is a entirely new set for Mark, because typically when a comedian films their special, they don't do any of that material anymore because now people have seen it from the special, even though the special's not out yet. So he's already working on new material. So this is like a new set for him. And I mean, it was fantastic. Like
sometimes they keep like an old favorite, like as an encore. Sometimes they do that, but generally speaking, yeah, that's how it usually goes. But so after the set, wait. Dwayne comes through again. Woo! Dwayne knows people. He's the documentarian of the group. He just knows everything.
He's
That's why he's what he is. He's amazing.
So. Yep, lovely. He's the best.
There was another comedian after Mark Ellis, which was kind of weird. Like,
well, that was the warm down thing again, wasn't it? Really, or was that an actual other?
No, there was two other ones also.
Was there? Like, I was drinking already at that point, so I might have started using it.
And then he did the Q&A, so it was kind of like a weird placement for like, because normally the Q&A would be kind of like the warm down. So because that's what they did in New York the last time was they like the warm down was the Q&A was the warm down. So I think he kind of got added late. I think is what happened, but he was funny and he hung out with us afterwards at the dinner and everything. So
yeah, that was pretty cool. So I guess that's where we should go from there. Do you have anything else about the set itself, or are we good with that? Do we see anybody else? Or
I think we're good.
I think just like afterwards,
no, we should do something. Jake Iacovetta did present.
Thank you.
Yes.
Present a certain T-shirt.
Thank you.
A certain T-shirt
to the.
I don't remember this.
that would be the one.
There we go.
Let me see if I can just
there we go.
Make her bigger or something.
I didn't get one, so I don't care about this.
You do not. Wait. Best part.
The back part.
Can you see?
Danny Joy.
Very nice.
Yep, Danny Joy.
That's me. Thank you, Jake. Thank you so much.
Thank you. They're wonderful.
For a big group of us. So Kelsey got one also. Janine the Machine got one. Sadi got one. Alex got one. I believe Roxy got one also, right?
Yeah, because Roxy.
Roxy.
Did you hear about Roxy's shirt?
She ended up
She
losing
already
it
lost it.
because she was like drunk, wasted that night. She had it on her head or something, and all of a sudden it was gone.
No, and then it's gone.
And then it's gone.
Oh.
We know. We know.
Yeah, that
back.
happened outside on the street, right? That's when we did that.
No, that was actually
No,
inside. That was
this is
actually
the club.
inside.
Yes, it was
Oh, it's in
inside.
the
It was
club.
right
Oh,
after the
that's
show.
right.
We
Yeah,
were all
yeah,
eating and all of that stuff, and then he handed it to us. It's so nice.
It was very nice. It was kind of cool. It was very.
It was
cool.
very
Pretty
sweet. So
amazing.
big shout out to Jake. I don't think he's in the chat now, but Jake is the best. Big supporter of everyone involved in this entire thing. So I think everyone owes Jake a big thank you for a lot of things. Jake is actually the reason why I was in New York. So Jake gave me, look at Billy right now. Oh my God. Jake actually gifted me my tickets for New York, and he also gifted me my Ellis tickets. So big, huge shout out for Jake. This weekend was great. Thank you so much.
We love you, Jake.
I don't love you, Jake. I could care about you. You're the worst.
We hate you, Jake. You make us look bad. It's not good.
Jake Giacometta has never made me look bad in my life. You see this hair? Nothing can make me look bad.
It's good hair. As a hairdresser,
good hair.
I have seen it in person, and it is good hair.
It is good hair. Okay.
Girl.
You know what else is good hair? That's good hair.
That's pretty.
That's great hair.
That's pretty great hair.
Why does he do these things? Why does he?
Eric in the chat. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Eric in the chat. Danny, who ignored me all Friday night and then Saturday afternoon, was all happy to see me. Eric, I'm so sorry.
Wait, Eric, you were there?
The first couple of days were rough, man.
Just kidding, bro. Just kidding.
Don't recall.
Woo.
That's good.
So, moving on from all this Jake Giacometta bullshit, love crap.
That was Friday.
Yeah. Jake is
So
a sweetheart. Yes.
After the show, first we were all out in the on the street in New York, which is always fun because we're like spilling into the street. The cops show up. Like, what's going on here? Like, there's all these people everyone's meeting everyone, because so many, basically everybody who went to New York who was there went to Ellis's comedy show.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And then we all walked down to the Smith because Eddie Haskell is a legend, and whoever in the AMA chat said that we overuse the term legend, we do not. All right, nope. There are just a lot of legends. All right,
who said that?
Yep.
Somebody in Benjer's chat.
They're wrong.
They were wrong. It waters down the term legend. Not when we're talking about legends, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
The Army's got a lot of them.
Also, Garth McMurray, how dare you say that I have James Spence hair? All right, I do not have. I have all right, James Spence.
If Spence was here, he would try to argue about his hair.
No. Frank says James Spence is the reason why we're not going to win the award at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll just cut it out. Right. That's where we're going to cut it out. So.
James Spence, if you ruin this, I swear to God.
That's true. See,
it's true.
The hitman knows. The hitman knows.
Hitman is wise.
As the hitman said,
Hitman might be the smartest man.
That Friday night, it was all legends. Like, it was a legends. And Nico.
Who? Wait, who are you
talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about.
So I met this kid, apparently, I think, night ago.
No idea who that is.
Beats me.
Not
allegedly.
Yep.
So we go to the Smith, which is this really cool. I will ban you, Robert Adams. I will ban the shit out of you. How dare you? So we go to. You're just jealous because you didn't get to go to the Smith. So we go to the Smith, which is this really cool restaurant bar
thing. Yeah, that's
amazing food. They brought out chips that had truffle oil on them, but I thought someone ordered them as an appetizer, so I didn't eat any of them. And then at the end of the night, Eddie's like, "So what'd you think of those?" And I was like, "Oh no, I think somebody ordered those." He's like, "No, those were complimentary."
Yeah, they were just throwing apps on the table.
Anybody could have eaten those, and I was like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, I was sitting down at the bar hanging out with Janine and Rachel, and they put a bowl right there, and I was all, "Thank you." They were good, Billy. You should have had some.
Danny also thought somebody else ordered them. She just swiped them real quick. She was like, "Nope, these are mine now."
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But there was so we walk up and Emma Fyfe is already sitting at the bar. Like Paul Yama, I think, was already there as well. He'd moved down quickly. There were so many people there. It was like, and it was so cool because it's such like a very relaxed environment. So you're just kind of like walking around talking to people, like joining in conversations, with other fans, with Schmodown pros, with, I literally like stood there and watched Eddie and John Mariano and I think it was Ellis just talking about like music for like.
Oh, I got in that conversation. That was great actually towards the end because
I don't remember Paul being there. That one doesn't reach my mind.
Does it ring a bell?
I don't recall that.
Not in there.
No.
It was a good space. It really was a nice laid out area, like compared to Houston, because that's the only other live event that I have to compare it to. Oh my gosh, this space was so much better to spread out and hang out in. It was a really nice spot, man.
Although they did only have like 2 waitresses, so again, it's like the consistency of our.
That's true.
The karaoke bar only had 2 bartenders. Like the Smith only had like 2 waitresses. Like,
that's our luck.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was Friday night.
Yeah, that was Friday. But what else is more stuff that happened? We should go real quickly. That was the moment where you wanted to bring up the fact that I was walking around at one point and my wife Kim said something to the effect of, "I'm not drunk at all. I've had like 5 drinks and I am not drunk."
She like lists off the 5 drinks she's had, like bragging about how she's not drunk. And then cut to an hour later.
Boom.
Oh,
she was drunk. Great. She was drunk. It was so bad at one point. It was funny.
It happened like that.
Drunk Kim. I went somewhere. I was talking to Roxy for a bit, I think it was. And I came back around. And there's Kim at the table with Ellis. And I think Mariano was there. It was during some part of music. And I see Tom Dagnino feeding my wife okra off a fork, like what they go like feeding her. Here, this is okra, and I'm like, what the hell? Surprised me at all.
How is it that none of the parts of that sentence make sense yet somehow?
Why did I get a picture of this somewhere? It was funny, but yeah. So, Dagnino, he's magical. He has some magic about him. That's all I gotta say about that.
Facts.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh. Got a chat in the chat. We got brewing a little hot wing competition.
Shots are being called.
Yep.
I mean, all these skinny people trying to have like food competitions, like you'd even be ranked in the food competition. All right, guys, this is what.
Have you seen us? Have you seen us? We're ready.
We don't mess around. The top part of the top part of your screen, the bottom half of your screen. No,
I don't claim to be able to hang it all.
Like 99-cent pizza at 2 a.m. walking down the streets of New York.
New York.
If we're finally New York.
Are we in New York?
We actually had tunes that night.
We're walking here.
That was definitely on Friday.
Yeah, that was after we went home. We went home, and then I helped my wife to go to sleep because it was time for her to go to sleep. Yep. But I decided at that point we were going to go out and get 99-cent pizza. Because it was just time for 99-cent pizza.
Oh, we were gonna go get pizza.
We was gonna get some.
So we came up and we met a few individuals on New York who liked the shirts we were wearing, and we were trying to get them involved in the showdown. Billy had the Scott's Tots shirt on, and I was wearing my Champ's Lunch shirt. So let's see what we have here. We got a little tape real quick of this one.
Champ's Brunch.
All right,
this is the New York wildlife that we ran into.
I got the video late. Sorry.
That's how I was not doing the whole time.
I'm all of a breakfast and cheese. You don't make it for breakfast. Sometimes you have chance lunch. Sometimes you have chance brunch.
They loved. I don't know. They had no idea what it was, but they were all about it.
It was amazing. That I just caught the last little bit of it, but they were talking for like a good 3 solid minutes, talking about Belford's shirt because he had on that Scott's Tots shirt. So they were talking about that, and then they started talking about the Champs lunch shirt.
They actually had to bring people over. He's like, dude, come here. This guy's Scott's Tots.
Getting people out of line.
Champs lunch.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Champs lunch.
Rundown thumbnail.
That was our New York dinner.
And then we're walking back to New York to the afterwards, and you've all seen the little GIF that we played earlier. Now we actually have the full video from where that's from. This is our drunken 99-cent pizza, us owning the streets of New York.
We invaded New York.
I'm not ashamed of this. I'm not ashamed of eating this 99-cent pizza, nor am I ashamed of how I ate that 99-cent pizza while I was taking this amazing video. Thank you very much. I did not eat the plate.
Multitasking.
Did not eat the plate.
I ate the plate. There's cheese on it.
Cheese.
And
this is a mukbang.
Here we go.
That
the mukbang, yes.
Are we in New York now? Are we in New York? We'll walk through here.
2 a.m.
I'm a Texan.
Are we in New York now?
Eating pizza, that's where we are. So fuck them.
Oh my god.
It was great. That was fun.
I was passed out by that point.
Yeah.
That's where you
We
were.
just left.
Yeah.
We just went boop, 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 boop.
And that is true. That is true.
Facts.
She was.
That's just
Annie
me.
was the most gangster girl on the streets.
I did
the
have my
slice-
chola hair on that day. I don't know if you noticed in that video, but I did have my chola ponytail up.
Oh, if I'd known that, I would have worn my my flannel with my button up at the top. You tú sabes.
This one. Okay.
My
That's
white
right.
shirt underneath. And my cholo shorts that go down to your ankle, but they're still shorts.
They're great. Fun fact.
And house shoes.
Slippers. They got to be velvet slip-ons.
They do.
But fun fact, Belford speaks the best Spanish out of all of us.
Todos hablan español. Está bien. Si quieres hablar sobre el showdown, vamos a tú sabes. That's right. We're bilingual.
It makes me feel so terrible.
We're bilingual. The best is all right. We're getting into Saturday, but the best is Saturday when we're at another pizza place, and the dude starts talking to Danny in Spanish, and she has no idea what he's saying. So I start talking to him in Spanish for her.
Yep, that happened.
It did.
Oh.
You're right.
Saturday.
That's right.
Nice segue.
My boy,
Transition.
Simon Phillips and Stand and Deliver. That's what I'm going for. I gotta get the hair right though. That's a tough hairdo.
I'm
Stand and
sorry.
Deliver.
I apologize on behalf of my ethnicity. I apologize.
Frank, you're from Chicago.
For
How do you have
to my people, I apologize. I'm sorry. I got the Duolingo app. I'm trying.
Bilingual Belford. I like that. That's
Yeah.
a new nickname.
Bilingual
It's your
Belford.
nickname.
All right, Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday we went to the 9/11 memorial. That was
That's Saturday.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
We were on the outside. We went to the
That's true.
we walked around over there to the infinity pools. Is that what they're called? The infinity pools?
Yeah.
Did that. We tried to go to the church, the Trinity Church for Hamilton, but
Yeah.
it was closed and
Buried
under
in Trinity
renovation or
Church near
something.
you.
We saw the headstone for Alexander Hamilton though.
That's true.
Yeah.
And apparently the some of the Schuyler sisters. I don't know. Where's Alex at when we need her?
Yeah,
Sisters.
goodness, please, though.
Or Liam, apparently. Liam's a big.
He's one of the Scottish.
Brandy says my cousins can't speak Spanish either, and they are Puerto Rican. So
there you go.
It's a weird generational thing. So I'm not the only one. I know that.
Well, Brandy, my Mexican sister-in-law would tell you that no Puerto Rican can speak Spanish, but that's a different. That's another thing entirely. Like, I'll leave it alone from there.
I get that joke.
Yeah. So so Saturday we went to Trinity Church. We went to the 9/11 Memorial. We went to then we went to Dive Bar.
Dive bar. Yeah.
We did the guys for the dive bar. So, hold on a second. It's actually called the Dive.
It was called Dive Bar.
Right. Mm-hmm. It was called Dive Bar, and it was a nice place. Actually, it was kind of cool for being called the Dive Bar. It was actually a nice little place. Yeah. That's where we had a bunch of the Action Army again. Larry and his wife joined us for that one. For Jake came in at that one, and that's where we decided to make. Well, I think Billy, was it your idea to make the sign?
Of course, as everything, it's always
your
mine.
idea. It's always your
Everything's his idea.
I might actually get credit for this one. So Friday night. Actually, I can't take entire credit for this. So Friday night we're at the Smith, and Jake Iacovetta, that bastard, was talking about John Mariano's daughters, Cara and Zoe, and how we were going to get autographs from them the next day. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's like a really good idea." But then they were he was talking about the signs that they made, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they make signs all the time. Like they love signs." So I was like, I told John, like, I'm going to make a sign for Cara and Zoe, like, because we're in New York, like it shouldn't be a problem to find like stuff to make a sign with, like. And Saturday morning, actually, we all went to CVS. They had no like poster board in CVS at that CVS we went to. Nope. I searched the whole store. I asked like 3 people who worked there. So when we went to Dive Bar, there was a CVS across the street that was like a lot bigger, and I went in there and got markers and
his biggest mistake was not taking me, who was a cheerleader in high school and had to make posters. He got the skinniest. He got markers that are this skinny, a poster board that's this big, and we got to make a sign that's going to be visible on a screen in a camera photo. You made a mistake, man.
I made a great thing. How dare you judge me?
Yeah.
So let's right.
At the end of the day, what Billy did was amazing because it was such a wonderful idea and also, super cute and the best thing. So I'm sorry, I apologize, but
the big markers were like $13. All right, I was not buying $13 markers when I could get $6 markers. So we got the $6 markers and we made it work. After many starts
typical Billy.
Of
yes.
After we first at the exact same time, because Lindsay, Larry's wife, was helping Danny. They were both in charge of me because I don't do anything artistic. That is not me. No. So they were making the poster. And they both go to write the names at the same time. And they both start writing Zoe. Like at the exact same time they write Z's. I was like, no, wait, no. One of you has to make Cara. I typed out the names and their nickname. It was the Wizard and what is Zoe's name?
Larry was great.
Larry was great.
Zoe, the Wizard, and I feel bad now.
I forget. Sorry, baby.
I forget too. But so Lindsay starts to make the captain. That's right. Yes, that's right. Yes,
Danny Coast.
Yeah, Danny Coast. Well done.
There you go.
Lindsay starts writing. I typed everything out. I had everything written out. She like misread it and started writing the wand, and I'm like, no, it's the Wizard. What are you doing? But we made it work. It turned out great. They loved it. We had Danny present it to them because she's the same height as them. We didn't want it to be intimidating, and it worked out great.
I gotta say, seeing Liam next to Danny was.
I'm so upset that it did not get a picture next to Liam. Like I was waiting for. I didn't get one in Houston. I didn't get one in New York. I swear to God, Liam, if we don't get a picture the next time we're around the same spot, I'm gonna flip my shit. I need
How
a
would
picture
you both be on camera? Like
we wouldn't. That's the whole point. You would have to it would be the top of my forehead, like you'd be right there, and then it would be the bottom of his chin. Like that's
Did you reach his belt buckle? Like was you at his belt level?
Liam's hip is literally right here to me. Like that's his hip bone right there. That's how short I am. Brandy, you haven't seen me in real life, girl. I am tiny. I am.
Kelsey was so happy that Danny was there because she felt real tall.
Kelsey is taller than I am. Yeah.
First person I've ever been taller than. It was not gonna lie, it was kind of nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I have always said that I'm here to make other short women feel better about themselves. So.
Thank you, Danny. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Kelsey.
But also the poster got a shout out on the pre-show from Emma Fife, so that was cool.
That's cool. Let me interject before we start talking about the pre-show. I want to say that Brandon Hanna just did something really amazing that maybe all of you should do.
Yes.
Purchase our call to action.
Yes.
Nobody cares about you and your boyfriend, Brandon Hanna, Paul. All right.
I would be lucky to have a boyfriend like Brandon Hanna.
You have your live event wife and your live event boyfriend.
Well, you know what? I could just be part of that family. It'd be a nice thing. I think I'd be welcome in that family. Anyway. The pre-show with Frankie Numbers, and Emma. Let's go from there. That was a good pre-show. You're used to seeing Frankie and Brad. Obviously, the boat was not able to make an appearance, so Frankie and Emma had to do that, and they did really well. They did really well. We got a nice little shout out for the Action Army. Got a shout out by Frankie, so we appreciate that. If you're still in the chat, if you haven't overdosed on your hot wings by now, I don't know. I haven't got a stat check in a while. You were on like one way back when, so if you're still there, let us know. But Frank that was great. It was great to hear because we were largely in the audience. We had a great big presence, considering we had no Ben and no Drew, like any of them involved in the actual match. We were still a large presence.
Oh yeah, we got called out. By Frank.
We did
because we scare him. Should be afraid, Frank.
Alice Barzona's a tie as well.
Oh, the third roommate.
Hey, don't forget that Enye.
What's an Enye, Danny? What's an Enye?
You know what, Buffer? I'm gonna start. Let me just turn on my Duolingo app right now.
How does Alex Barzonia feel about it? Doesn't speak Spanish?
Funny story, real quick. I'll interject here since Garth said this. The chat, there was a bummer. We called for Ben and Ben didn't show up or whatever. During the Q&A later on, or during the cast picture, at one point, right after the Q&A, I actually was sitting next to Ben and talking to him about something. We were just talking about the matches or something, and all of a sudden, like Ben goes, "Did they just say my name?" I went, "I don't know." I thought that Ben had said Ben's name to go up on the cast for the picture, and Ben started going up, and they're like, "No, we don't need you. We don't need you."
Well, the other thing is, so Ben gets on stage with Emma and Frank. I am Action Army.
That's why he's our main he's our field guy. Just throw him in there.
I am the artillery of the Action Army. So Ben finally comes out after they called him out like 3 times and does his little like bit. But the other funny thing, so Ben misses his cue or whatever. The other funny thing was originally the plan was to have both Ben and Andrew on stage. But Andrew showed up so late to the show that he did.
He said in the stream, he said that he's like, "You're supposed to come here at like 5, or he comes there at 7." He was like in his street clothes. He's like, "I ain't going on stage."
Again, and then another thing with Dive Bar, I text Bateman when we get to Dive Bar at like 3:00. Hey, we're at Dive Bar. Like, if you have a chance, come by. At 5:00, when we're all in line for the show, Bateman texts me back like, hey, what bar are you guys at? And him and Dagnino go to Dive Bar. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, what a week.
Okay, so
we had to get in there a little earlier.
So
Sorry, I have to let my dog inside.
Who is breaking into your house?
Call 911, Danny. Jeez.
Oh just like any good action chat, there's a time with the background wall and nothing else and screen.
Yeah.
So it works well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh.
I tried not to do it, but the doggy wanted to come inside.
Danny, we'll get to that. All right, Danny, gosh.
Other night. So, yeah. So let's go to let's talk about the matches. We had the matches there. We can actually talk about the match. We couldn't talk about them last week at all. We had Ethan Irwin going against Haley Fouch. Now, this was a match where Ethan was. I think it's safe to say Ethan was pretty heavily favored. Although Haley is someone who has shown to be very knowledgeable and definitely could be a surprising person in the future. So, given that Guy versus Merle has taught us that anything is possible, it was a fun start. So we had Ethan getting joined by Janine in the beginning. Janine helped walk out Ethan, which was fun, and then we had Haley come out. And what did you guys think of the match?
I loved it. I thought it was sorry, Kelsey. I thought it was a really good. I think Haley is not underestimated. I think a lot of people agree and believe that Haley does have a lot of knowledge behind her and is like a competitor in this league. So I think going against someone like Ethan Irwin in a live event in front of a bunch of people is a tough gig to get. So I mean, there was a lot against her, but she still did really well in the match throughout the whole. It's not like it was a blowout or anything like that, but she still did really well in the match. She got all the way to her third question in the third round. She didn't get TKO'd. She didn't get KO'd. She got it, and she worked. Oh, sorry. Wait, sorry. Yeah. My bad. But she got all the way to the third round, to her third question in the third round. Yes, so I thought that was great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Haley in the rest of the league and throughout this whole time. I think she's doing great. I do think Ethan Irwin is going to get really far into it. I have Ethan Irwin going all the way against Paul Preston. I have Paul Preston taking it. And that's my thoughts on the match.
That's right. Haley did look at her. Haley was nervous. She said that she was nervous the whole time through. She was saying, she was jittery, and you could tell she just was shaking a little bit. Yeah. And she was nervous. It showed during round one that she was nervous too. She kind of missed a few that she definitely knew, and later on said that she knew, but you know, it's
not just she was nervous. Like, she said that she has like anxiety issues with crowds. So like,
she definitely said
to do that, to even show up on stage was like, that's a win.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So,
and she was the sweetest person in real life too. I didn't get a chance to talk to her too much, but she was really sweet. Yeah,
she is a sweetheart, definitely. And also, one thing I always thought was really great with her on stage is she is so charming. Like, I love just like her just talking and getting to see her and get to meet her. Like, I thought Ethan was going to get it, but I wanted Haley to get it so bad because she's just so great.
Kelsey, do you watch The Witching Hour?
Occasionally. I don't get to catch it all the time, but yeah, I love her on Witching Hour.
I love her on The Witching Hour, and it's like her and Perry together are so good, and their opinions are so great.
They're so great.
Their review on I saw their review on It Chapter 2, and it was it was a good one. So definitely watch The Witching Hour with Haley for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I will say, as far as Ethan goes, first of all, there's not a lot of people who would have beaten Ethan in that match anyway, because Ethan was on his game. Unless it's an animated question, because Ethan apparently doesn't know any animated questions at all.
Still doesn't care. Yeah. He's like, I'll beat you anyway.
He's like, I don't need to.
Ethan last year always looked like he just kind of showed up and answered questions, and he would win. And all the way even to when he won the belt, like, he never looked like he was like, he almost looked disinterested, like. And even in New York the first time, he kind of looked disinterested. He did not look disinterested in that match. Like, he looked focused, he looked into it, and he looked like he was hungry. He wanted to win, and that's scary. Like, Ethan Irwin motivated. People talk about all the time, like a Dan Murrell, when Dan Murrell's motivated, like, it's a scary thing. Ethan Irwin motivated might be scarier than Dan Murrell.
Can't disagree with that. I mean, he comes in. He's a guy who can challenge Dan Murrell, bring Dan Murrell to like the last question when he didn't. He seemed like he was caring. He didn't even care almost. Like he would have said, that was New York. He was disinterested, and he brought Dan Murrell to the end at that point. So if he really wants it, I mean, he almost a perfect round in round one. His round two was good as well. He got 7 out of 8 in round two with a steal from Haley's Tom Cruise category. He was good to go. He didn't have to answer his 3, so he almost pretty much had a perfect game. Almost.
Haley, you need to watch Action Movie Anatomy more. All right, just watch Action Movie Anatomy. That'll cover most of any action questions and all of Tom Cruise, so you'll be good.
TC Legends will be covered. So that's good. Well, interesting, Paul. Thanks for giving away some secrets. That's good. I like that. That might be. I could see that too. You know, like if someone's laid back having fun, all of a sudden he just bites you. That works well. That works well for him.
Well, I think it would work if it was somebody who like nobody knew, and they were like the lazy, like lackadaisical. Everybody knows who Ethan Irwin is. Like as soon as he like walked on in the first free for all that he participated in, everybody was like, "Oh shit, it's Ethan Irwin!" Like so, I mean.
You got like a third of the questions he might have had a producer credit on it or something, so he knows this shit. It's his work.
But yeah, so that was that match.
It was good.
We moved to the next match.
To the match of the night.
Another match? I don't know.
There was a championship match.
The main event.
The main event.
Who was there?
We had some guy named Jeff, the Snyder.
I remember Snyder.
With his family.
Who I was sitting right in front of me. I was like, oh, man.
Nobody cares.
We all care, Paul.
Thank you. See? Billy Shaw.
Who is the champion?
No, stay.
Who is the champion who faced him? Oh, yeah. It was this guy.
Stay.
Oh, Paul, you can stay. We won't say anything you wouldn't say to your face.
No.
Do you know us? We'd say everything that if we don't hide anything.
Here's some objective for you, Paul. What the hell happened in round 5?
Round 3. That's our 5. That's right.
Before we get to that, so I want to talk for a minute about Jeff Snyder's family. Super awesome that they were there. We were standing in line outside waiting to go in. And all of a sudden, here comes this group of like 5 people, and they're wearing Snyder shirts.
Yeah,
somebody in the crowd is like, Snyder doesn't have a shirt. Like, what's this? And they're like, come on in, Snyder, right? And nobody, like, it was like crickets. Nobody said anything. Like, and they just walked away. We're like, who are those people? Turns out that was his family.
That was his family.
Real good introduction to the Schmoedown community.
Yep. Great first impression.
Yeah.
But
his girlfriend's really nice. My wife talked to her afterwards for a little bit, I guess. Her girlfriend, or I don't know who it is.
Of course, Kim talked to her. Of course.
Kim's very assertive. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Kim is a delight and a charmer. She just charmed her.
Charming is the word. Charming is the word.
So yeah, Paul Oyama. I like that Smets told us that they were gonna do like a entrance where they were gonna be like the bad guys and not like high five fans and anything. And then Paul got to where we were sitting and started high fiving all of us, and he was like, oh, "So much for that idea." Like,
Smets actually had a moment where he's kind of like,
okay, I guess what we're doing.
Yeah. This is where we're going with here.
All right.
Hey, all right,
you can't deny the Action Army high fives.
That's true.
I was wearing a primetime shirt. I mean, you can't deny.
Yeah. I was wearing a Smasher shirt.
I'm wearing a Smasher shirt.
I was wearing that Smasher shirt.
Yep.
People hanging. He left me hanging in Houston, so you should have had no problem with it.
I got a good picture of Belford with Smets. He didn't leave me hanging. In fact, he took a picture of it and told me later that it's up in his house. So maybe I'm a close personal friend of Kevin Smets that you're not, maybe Belford.
I'm going to group chat my friends Kevin and Janine right now that I'm in a group chat with. It's a much better group chat.
That's just what he does.
That's what Belford does. That's what Belford does. So anyway, let's continue with the match.
Yeah, so ignore him.
Yeah, thanks.
So round one, it was interesting to me. It seemed like that it went well at first. Snyder was the first to blink. He blinked 2 questions, especially as
he blinked hard a lot.
Well, he blinked. Well, yes, he did, but that was the first one. Was the big one there? That was the first one. That was a real big. Oh, shit! Moment.
Tough words.
Because it was once 4-4 at that point, I think. Right?
It was 3-3 at that point.
3-3.
And then then Snyder missed like 3 in a row. Paul missed one of them in that, but like he missed 3 in a row. So all of a sudden, Jeff Snyder was blinking hard, and as we've seen, when Jeff Snyder blinks, he starts getting in his head. Once he's cocky when he's winning, but once he starts getting down, it can be go to sleep time real quick, as you saw going against Bibiani. And this is where Roxy came in. Roxy really, I think, really kept him level-headed, shall we say, to the point where at least he was in the match still.
Calmed him down for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's like you can always see it whenever Jeff Snyder gets into his own head. It's always visible and it's always right there. And I think like big argument for Roxy for a manager of the year, because I mean any other manager, if Jeff would have gone out there by himself at all, not had a manager or not had someone like Roxy, not even just a regular manager, someone like Roxy Stryer having his back and staying super motivated with him and just trying to keep him above water, Jeff would have completely thrown, like he would have done what he did with William Bibiani. Like he would have just thrown that match. And I think that I really truly believe that. And I think that Roxy really talked him through it, and Roxy really helped him out with it. And that's a testament to her as a manager, but also like Jeff Snyder is so much better than he thinks he is. And it's always a bummer to see him get down on himself, because he's so like, I've been a fan of Jeff Snyder since the beginning. And it's always a bummer to see him do that, but
I think part of it is the Boston mentality of it's like, it's Boston versus everybody else. So they think that like everything is against them. So like when stuff starts to go wrong, it's like, yeah, everyone's against me. Even though by that point, like, I feel like the whole crowd was behind Jeff. Like,
yeah,
it was like 75-25. There was a definitely a large, it was a minority segment, but there was a loud minority segment.
There was a row of people, I think, that were rooting for Paul at that point, and then like everybody else was chanting for Jeff. Like,
I was cheering for Paul. I was gonna say.
I was going Jeff, Paul.
I lost my voice at that point, so
yeah, mine was gone pretty halfway through that match.
There you go. Paul liked it.
That's right.
Paul would.
That's a that's funny.
I thought it was funny that a New York crowd was pro the Boston guy. So
that's what Danny just said.
Yeah. There you go. And I told Jeff that afterwards, that was actually like impressive that he was able to turn the New York crowd in his favor.
But
Nico's wrong again as usual. Gosh, Nico.
I have no idea who this guy is.
No idea.
I think he might be friends with AJ Lancaster, because I don't know who either one of them are.
I don't know who either of those people are. I think AJ's new.
Never, probably.
So at the end of round one, it was 6-4 Oyama at that point. Oyama had a couple of misses at the end of the round two, so it was a little bit of a rough time considering. But 6 is always a good number. So we went to round two, and Jeff spun first. So I believe I remember correctly. He spun 80s movies, which should be in his wheelhouse. He's old enough to be in there, and he did well with it. He would have got the. But of course,
Jeff had the great line of "If I spin Harry Potter, you all can go the fuck home."
And that's important of things to come. As that is. This is where okay. Thank you. Paul's got this is why he's champ, and I'm not. He spun Pixar first, then he respun. That's true.
We don't care about respins, Paul.
Technically, I wasn't wrong. He did spin 80. He eventually spun 80. So
technically, he didn't spin anything. It was that damn corrupt digital wheel.
Where Drew actually made his presence known if you were there.
Yeah, you can hear Drew.
Drew was raging against the digital wheel from the background. So.
I love that Christian Harloff has like leaned in completely into the hatred of the digital wheel, because he was hamming it up like the digital wheel, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they leaned right into it, which is good. It's the only way they could do it. Which is all the whole night. Christian and Mark were on point with the commentary. They were leaning into certain things and touching off on certain things, and then they had to get involved in round 2 because that was the big part of round 2, the controversy.
Yeah.
Question 3 of the 80s was the Rain Man question about, I believe it's like, which store does...
Where does he buy his underwear?
Buys his shirt over, and he goes to multiple choice. He says JCPenney, and somebody, whether they were drunk, whether they were just overexcited or whatever, almost at the same time as Paul said, right out yourself, Kmart. Now, I have no doubt that Paul knew that answer, because he even said the Cincinnati came on. He knew point on, that was it. And wow, Christian, I'm surprised the guy didn't get kicked out, because that's always been the rules. But they gave him that harsh warning, and then we had the question of how to handle what happened, because Jeff challenged it, rightfully so. Use your challenge at that point, and challenge the whole thing. And I think the initial calling was that they were going to just reset the whole question.
No, they. Yeah. I mean,
that's when Paul challenged at that point. Because Paul was that. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Go ahead, correct me if I'm wrong.
Because they just talked, and then when Christian came back, they said he's getting you missed the question. Paul gets his chance to answer, but he already chose multiple choice, so you get multiple choice.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So at one point, Paul challenged the ruling at first, and that's what got them where it was.
Yeah,
I remember that specifically, because Paul, I want to challenge that ruling, and it made sense. That's when we went to start talking. But either way, Paul gets a new question to seal, and he gets it wrong. So in a way, that was a very big big reason for him to bitch at the end if he wanted to. If he had lost by 1 point, that could have been a very tainted match. Let me tell you. Yeah. Oh, here we go. See. Yep. Of course I'm right. Billy's always wrong and I'm right. That's the way it goes.
Shut the fuck up, Paul.
They're both wrong a lot.
I ban Yama from this.
You can't.
Danny and I are always right.
You can't. Sorry.
I have the powers. So
right. That part is what Paul challenged. Yeah, I thought you were saying Paul challenged the his ability to answer the question or something.
No, it was just that they were going to reset the question altogether or something. They were going to do a whole reset, and it was like, no.
Also, Dwayne said that the person who yelled it out was like a kid. It was like a 14-year-old kid or something like that. So I think
that's why they're
no, it's Kmart. In excitement and
everybody does. I mean, there's times in the match during live matches where you know the answer and you almost want to go. And you gotta I gotta shut up, because when you're home, you do. You're like, Kmart, bitch.
Yeah. Well, round 2 is the dangerous part, because there's a chance for steal. Any other round, it's kind of like what were you thinking, kind of thing.
That's true, Abby. That's true. Who is this Paul guy?
Yeah.
Yes, Robin, you're absolutely right. And Paul could tell us, but like I said, I could tell he knew Cincinnati Kmart. So that's where we were at the end of.
Honestly, because Paul kind of because he kind of took his time, and he was like, actually, I know that it's the Cincinnati Kmart. And it's at that time that the kid yelled something out. So if he'd pulled like Snyder usually does when he steals and just gone Kmart, then he would have stolen it right away. Or
like Drew did against Merle. Drew couldn't wait to get that. Every time Drew stole it,
yeah, that's very much that's Snyder and Drew's kind of thing. Snyder's very much about it, and sometimes he does it too quickly. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But also shout out to Abby. Sorry that James ruined your show yesterday with his terrible.
He ruins ours all the time.
You were great. Your show was great, but you had James on, and that was awful.
Abby, you did a great job in the live stream, girl. Get it. Ow, ow, ow.
Also, shout out to Abby for pronouncing GIF correctly. Thank you very much. If Abby says it's GIF, it's good enough for me. Yes.
Nope.
Not going to waste this time in this chat either now at this point.
We're going to move on.
We'll talk about it later.
So, Paul
spins.
And
what was the score after Snyder?
Well, Snyder got, let's see, he had 4, so 5, 6, 7, 8,
9.
9. He had 9
so
and
9-5, right?
9-6.
9-5.
9-6 because Paul had 6 after the end of round 1. So round 2, Paul This is actually another interesting point we made. We talked about this. Paul had put spinner's choice and opponent's choice on the board, which became a kind of a almost controversial thing we talked about last stream. That's true, Frank. I have no idea how he does. I really don't. We're working on it.
We're working on it.
Thanks, Rex. But anyway, so what we're saying is that it became kind of controversial. I guess Rachel Cushing had a statement somewhere where she said that for the most part behind the scenes that a lot of people thought it was a below the belt move to do that you should win without having to resort to opponent's choice or spinner's choice. But to me, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I always kind of felt win how you can.
Yeah.
So if you're the champion, you have the right to pick that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
My thing is when you're heading into a match, what's the difference between the champion and the challenger? Besides having a belt.
Right.
Because aside having a belt, there's no advantage to being the champion. What do you come out first or second? You come out second? Wow. But the ability to put spinners or opponent's choice is the champion's prerogative. If you've earned that right because you won a title.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything below the belt to it. Not to disrespect anything that Rachel said, but to me, it's not below the belt. It's because it's not like it gives him an advantage per se. Like just now, he didn't spin spinner's choice. He spun opponent's choice in round 2.
Well, I've said that if you're the champion and you feel like you're the better player, if you feel like you're better than your opponent, you should not put spinners and opponents on the wheel, because putting opponents on the wheel is their only hope of beating you if you're better than them. Wow, there we go. That's Paul-yama. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
If you feel your opponent is better than you, then yes, put spinners and opponents on the wheel, because then maybe you'll hit spinners and they'll hit opponents and you have a better chance of beating them.
Like KO having to hit Bond to win.
But he spun that. He didn't spin spinners or opponents. So, actually, I think he spun spinners one. Where's Frankie at when we need him? The one time we need Frankie. How many times has he spun Bond, and how many times has he spun spinners?
I agree with Paul right there, and that whole thing right there. If a competitor decides not to put it on the wheel for however they feel, then totally go with it. On opponent's choice should be excluded from championship matches. I know that there is a debate that it shouldn't be on championship matches at all, but I don't think that that's fair, and I don't think it's a part of the game, and I feel like spinners and opponent's choice has been such a big part of the wheel that it should always stay on the wheel, and that's a part of what the Schmodown is, and it's a part of what the game is, and there should be no reason to be scared of it, like what Paul said, because if you're on your shit and you're on your game, then you're not going to be worried about it, because you should be going in there prepared like that. So I agree with that. I don't think that spinners and opponents should be off the wheel for championship matches.
I just want to say I'm so happy everybody's agreeing with me. They're standing with me. Everybody's saying Paul's right. I get it. It's really I'm right.
They're all standing with the champ.
What are you doing?
You're champ in your life, you chump.
I am the champ of 99-cent pizza.
All right.
Anyway,
the spinners versus opponents is like a debate for another day.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's an overhyped. It's a crutch. I feel like. For an argument that's not really an argument, because again, Paul's the one that spun opponent's choice, and Snyder picks sports, and he did all right. He didn't do great, but he got
5.
Right.
He got 5. He had to go multiple choice the first one. He got a second and fourth ones. He got the 2-pointer. And he missed the third one, which was the 11 basketball question. But so at the end of that round, it was 11.
Snyder steal that one or no? I think he missed that one as well.
Yes, I think he did actually steal.
Oh, he did steal. Okay, so that's why it was 11-10.
Yes, 11-10. That's right. So then we went to
the betting round.
Ooh. Betting round. We had this is where the Harry Potter thing came into play. Right, it was prophetic that not pathetic, but prophetic that
Well, no, this is where spinner's choice and opponent's choice came into
that's
play.
true. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's
Because
true.
he spins spinner's choice, and it's also the difference between Snyder's being in his first singles championship round and Snyder being in the Patriots championship rounds, where they never put spinner's choice on the wheel. So there never was a spinner's choice for a betting round.
Right.
When he faced the Shire Wolves both times, nobody put spinner's choice on the wheel. So it's never been on the wheel in any of his championship matches. Now he has to face, it's on there. He spins it. He picks Harry Potter.
Well, here's a question I have for Paul if he wants to know. Does Paul know? I mean, I think probably everybody, he probably knew. But like, did he know before the match that Harry Potter was a big weakness for Jeff? I mean, Jeff said it during the match, which to me is a bad thing to do strategically.
Don't do that.
Like, don't give me Harry Potter, and then he gets a opponent's choice. What are you gonna pick? Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Going to be the one to choose. I mean, I think it's known that Jeff isn't a big sci-fi fantasy type guy anyway, generally speaking, or these superheroes type stuff. So that might be what it was either way. But either way, it was bad. It was bad news. But then Jeff made the big blunder, the huge blunder, that he, instead of betting zero,
not a huge blunder.
Well, it cost him the game.
Yeah.
It cost him the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the end
no, it's because he could have gotten another point in a lot of other places. Like, that's just 1 point in the long.
But when you lose by 1 point, everything matters, and that was the big. That was the big one.
If he writes HAL 9000 and doesn't erase it, he wins. If he writes Ants and doesn't erase it, he wins. So I mean, it's.
Well, I agree, but like
spinning Harry Potter was the big thing, because now it's a swing, and we knew we were going to get a swing because we knew
he didn't have to. He didn't have to do that. If he had just said zero, there's no swing.
There is. It's still a 3-point swing. It's still Paul gains 3 points. It's either a 3-point swing or a 4-point swing. It's 1 point. Like, either, like, it's not like
he literally asked it,
and then he didn't do it.
I mean, that doesn't mean he had to do it. Like,
that is also true.
So, I mean, we can argue about that if you want. I understand. I agree. I see what you're saying, but at the same point, every point matters. I thought it was just a bad decision by him. He obviously has no idea about Harry Potter. He wasn't going to get the point. Why waste a point? Why give this?
Like sports where like people argue a call at the end of the game and they say that's why they lost the game. I'm like, no, like it's the whole game that is why you lost the game. Like, like that. Yes, that's 1 point, but it's not like it's a 10-point question or a 5-point question. It's a 1-point question.
Well, at the end, it was an easy. Well, if you know Harry Potter, it was an easy question for Harry Potter, and Paul got an easy 3 points. And Jeff, betting 1 and having no idea, loses a point and becomes 14-10. 14-9 at that point.
I will say if you know you're not going to if you have no idea of any Harry Potter questions, why would you bet any points?
Darby,
stop interrupting.
Never stop interrupting.
That's Ben's face when Jarvie comes into a chat.
That's all of our faces when Jarvie comes into a chat.
Jarvie.
Look at that part off. That was the karaoke night. But go ahead. Anyway,
we've been on for an hour and 37 minutes, so let's move it along, people.
I know.
All right. So yeah, I mean, if he knew he was not going to get any Harry Potter question right at all ever, then he shouldn't have bet 1 point, because that's just 1 point he's losing. But moving on to the speed round.
And they had the buzzers out, and there's some funny give and take with Ellis. Ellis was gold. Ellis was absolutely gold.
Always gold.
But
he's amazing.
Love him, Mark.
Yep.
Let's see. We had in that round, I believe at the end of the time, Paul ended up with 15. It ended up being 15-10 at the end of that round, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what it was the other round, because Paul lost 1 point on a wrong answer and then gained it back, and then Snyder gained a point back. So it ended up being not much of a turnaround at that point. And then we went into the final round. We had 15-10 at that point. And so we went to question number 1 for Jeff Snyder, which was my personal favorite question in the whole night. It was the question about the Nick Cage and Sean Connery teaming up against the villainous and amazing and wonderful and awesome Ed Harris.
Where's that picture of you in a wedding dress? Can we have that?
Yeah, can we put that in the middle of the screen?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have that.
Oh
Yeah, find it.
So they got the question. Jeff got his 2-pointer and he got his 3-pointer. And at that point, I jumped because I tied it at 15, and we jumped back to Paul. And Paul kind of struggled in round 3. We haven't seen that before. He didn't get his 2, didn't get his 3. And did it go back to Jeff at that point? Or did Paul do all 3?
No, they went back to Jeff for his
5 after the 2 and 3 were done, right?
Yes. And he missed his 5.
Yeah, the Will Smith Hitch question.
Yeah, which is super. I mean, I thought it was really easy, but I've seen Hitch clearly more than Jeff Snyder has.
Clearly.
Like Jeff kind of just like, I feel like had seen the movie, but had not never he knew what the movie was, but had never watched it 40 times on TBS like I have. Yeah.
So you can get it. It was 15-15 and bounced back to Paul. And the question was from dramas at a 5-point. It was a tough question. I mean, it was American Beauty. It was something about the dinner dish that was thrown against the wall during the fight or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what was the dinner dish? And I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's
I didn't pay attention to that. Yep.
At that point.
Honestly, it was a little bit weirded, oddly, too, because to say dinner dish, it makes it sound like it's like spaghetti and meatballs or like a casserole. Whereas it was asparagus, I think was the answer.
Was it peas maybe or peas or something? I think
it was asparagus.
I think it was asparagus.
And I'm like, that's not a dish. That's just vegetables.
Yeah.
Like, how's that a dish? Like,
I think it was a specific dish with just the asparagus on it that she.
Either way.
Okay.
Either way, Paul misses all his questions, and so when Jeff looked like he was absolutely dead to the world at that point, he's able to come back and force sudden death. Which I gotta say, give him all the credit in the world for someone who usually checks out at that point, or had checked out in the past, I should say. He fought back in a championship match, a live championship match, and forced sudden death.
Yep.
And then the sudden death question came in, and it was one question only. And fittingly enough, it involved Robert Duvall, which seems to always come back around for Jeff Snyder.
That's how he won the team's belts.
Right.
So
it does. He win or die with Robert Duvall, looks like. And Paul gets that championship, and he gets that answer right, and the whole match is over, and Paul's celebrating, and the place went nuts at that point.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so after that, we moved on. We had some of the interviews and some shooting going on, some talking back and forth about big things. And then came our after match, which was the announcement by Tom Dagnino walks on the stage, right? That's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom Dagnino walked out.
And we get on the screen comes up, and it's Dan Murrell.
Cashing in his free-for-all title shot.
Right.
In Orlando against those bastards in corruption.
One of Kelsey's favorite. And,
God, do we have to talk about this?
Kelsey,
I wonder what Mike Kalinowski's reaction was to hearing that. I think we might have had a video of his reaction live. I can't seem to recall.
Was there some kind of video of Mike?
Some sort of video of Mike.
Flesh! Mr. Sam Jones. And like that, he's gone.
Okay. My favorite part is him going like this. My fucking favorite.
Look at his eyes. He has like this crazed look in his eyes.
I can't ever
oh my god!
That it gets me every time. Oh my god!
Nice,
go back to being a face. Jeez.
He should. He admitted he was a tweener.
Back.
At least he admitted he was a tweener the other day. He admitted he wasn't a heel. So
I think he said he was like the entire league. I think that's what he said. I don't think he said he was a tweener.
I'm not a heel. I'm not a face. I'm not a heel. I am inevitable or something to that effect.
Yeah, something. Some dumb thing.
I will say that Dan's,
my mouth.
I will say Dan's video was actually pretty funny and humorously done at least.
Yes.
Dan's been killing it lately on the like the cut scenes. Like his scene with Mara was great. His scene there was great.
Dan has been crushing it.
He's been coming out and watching a lot of his horseman brethren lose. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that he's yes, I'm winning an adapted screenplay Oscar. Yes,
absolutely. So
deserves it.
Oh.
Dan really has
Abby,
been watching these.
Abby, I'll send you that clip if you want. You can watch it as many times as you want.
It's my favorite. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. It really is interesting to see founding fathers and corruption go against each other. Like Chance being one of the youngest competitors, or the youngest competitor that has ever won a belt, and then John Roca being the oldest competitor in the entire league
in the world and anything ever. Like
old man. So
decrepit.
It's gonna be a fun match. Like, oh man, what a handicap.
Absolutely.
Oh, Lucas is officially a Schmodown fan now. He knows what Bespin is. That's the level. That is when you officially become a Schmodown fan.
Congrats, Lucas.
Yes. I will say that Dan Murrell is definitely, absolutely 100% the second greatest horseman of all time. If I'm going for anyone in this entire match between Corruption and the Horsemen, or in the Founding Fathers, it's Dan Murrell. I'm not good. Like, I'm just going for fucking Dan Murrell. That's it. All right. Whatever. Mike has been crushing it. Mike did crush it with that whole Roca drama when all of that drama happened, and then Mike came back the next day with that post. I will admit that was
stupid, awful, terrible,
good, man.
Dumb. Any adjective you want to use. I got a lot of them. Moronic.
So
yeah, something like that.
I am going for Dan Murrell.
Dan Murrell.
Again, as I rooted for in the Bateman versus Kalinowski match, is there a way they can both lose? It happened in the Bateman Kalinowski match, so
yes, you called it.
Maybe there's a way in Orlando.
You heard it here first, folks. Billy, the Oracle Belford, has called it. Somehow, Corruption and Founding Fathers will lose in Orlando.
What's gonna happen is they're gonna be in like the 24th round of sudden death, and like R&B is gonna come out and be like, Christian's made me honorary commissioner just for tonight. I strip you both of the titles, and the winners of the team tournament, the family, will be the new team's champion. Yes, thank you. Oh
wait.
Jarvie's clearly very drunk. Like Jarvie is like super wasted. Patrick Bateman from American Psycho?
The question
Interesting choice.
The question is, Jarvie, do you have pants on right now? Because your call, when we called you at the karaoke machine, you didn't have pants on. You totally just went in the full office. Also, when you look at, there's Jarvie dropping his drawers for everybody, and it was a sight to behold. And
as far as I know, Jarvie never has pants on.
That's right. And that's exactly when we saw that face from Ben.
That's so good. Ben makes the best faces.
He's very expressive.
Does he? Does he? I have a T-shirt that begs to differ.
That's a good
expressive look.
That's not like that's proving my point that Ben Bateman makes the best faces in the Schmodown.
It does. It's good. It's good ammunition. I'll tell you that much.
Andrew Guy makes the best faces.
Andrew
along
Guy
with Brandon the Hitman Hannah. They make the best faces in the Schmodown. And Drew McQueenie.
Brandon is the smartest person in the Schmodown.
Wow.
Well, that's a really low bar. That's a real low bar. There's like 3 smart people in the Schmodown. It's like Brandon Hannah, Rachel Silvestrini, and Janine, and that's like it. I maybe McQueenie. Like I'll give him like some credit. He seems like a smart guy. Other than that, it's a bunch of dum-dums. I mean, like Ben barely completed whatever like alternative high school he went to where they sang Kumbaya all day. You know, It's not a Rhodes Scholar going on up over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Wow. Anyway, should we move on now?
Yeah.
You have a video on our video to show. We're running out of
another
time.
video.
We got
We got
another
another
video.
video. We've been on for 40 hours now, but
Well, this is one that actually people do want to see. I know that much because
Yep, this one's requested.
Someone was requested in the earlier chat. At one point, we're going to give Billy full credit here before he starts crying.
Who was the one person not present for this freaking
That's true.
T-shirt presentation?
I
literally masterminded.
I blame drunk Yakavetta.
Yep.
Anyway.
Drunk Paul should be like, no, we need to wait for Belle.
You want drunk Paul to do something.
Where was Kim when we needed her? Where was Kim to be like, no, wait for Belle first?
She's probably hanging out with me because I wasn't there.
She was probably talking to Dagnino. Getting fed okra by Tom Dagnino.
Oh, man. Either way, we should tell about this now. For a while, Ben had been on his streams talking about this famous shirt that he wanted, an old vintage Tom Petty concert tour shirt from 1981 or something like that. And it cost a lot of money. It was like $400 or $500. He actually went to the guy in LA, tried it on, but was saying he really shouldn't. So people are super chatting it, and then Billy super chatting for Ben to get the shirt. When Billy came up with this great idea, he's like, you know what, everybody's super chatting. Why don't we gather us together who's been super chatting and see if we can't just pull some resources together and buy the damn thing? So
apparently, I only needed to talk to Jake Yakavetta and not an entire group of people, because 4 minutes after we started this group, Jake Yakavetta has bought the shirt.
I bought a shirt. I got the shirt, guys. It's like $400. You guys just give me money back when you want. Anyway,
if you want to give me money, that's cool. If not, okay. I bought the shirt.
Oh, flipping. Poor Billy. Anyway, we do have video of the time after because Billy was outside. It was after the general admission people left, and it was done during the question answer.
They waited. They waited until I walked out. The moment I walked out is when they presented the shirt.
Pretty much, we waited for it. Actually, drunk Jake got Ben here. We got something for you. Come here. And I was like, what, we're giving to him now? Where? I don't even know. And also I walked in, everybody's like lined up already. They got video ready to go. I'm like, I guess we're giving them the shirt now. So with that in mind, I'm going to do the video right this second. As soon as I share audio. And it is great.
It's awful. I hate it.
Sorry.
I've been trying to get people to stop talking about the shirt. So you wouldn't go and buy it because
Tom Petty shirt? No fucking way.
Well, you will never be able to wear that.
It's a what? You guys got the shirt?
You will never be able to wear it. But
that's a good
so rare that the guy that has the one that you can fit will probably trade you for that with a little bit of cash.
What? You guys got this for me?
Yes.
What the? Come on. Come on.
Some onions in here.
Every time we got into every time we do the stream, and people were like, $10 for the shirt. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I owe you guys a refund.
You owe us nothing, man. This is for you. We appreciate you. We love you.
I can't believe you guys got me the real thing.
But like I said, you can't fit that one. So the dude that has the one that you can fit, it's still rare. So he'll probably let you trade it out for a little bit of cash.
This is like 40 years old. I know. Oh my God. Thank you guys so much. This is unbelievable. This is ridiculous.
A big salute to General Jeremiah Morris. Sent him $150 on it.
I need to thank Jeremiah. I'll send him a message tonight. Wow, this is amazing. I can't believe this. I've never owned something that is worth this much money my entire life. My car's not worth this much money. Wow.
Well, found out Ben has a really shitty car.
That's so fucking cool.
I'm going to admit it.
He's not trying to get it during while like recording in the car.
These shirts don't fit anyways.
All right, there you go.
Ladies, try to find a man who looks at you the way that Ben Bateman looks at that Tom Petty shirt. All right,
absolutely, right there. Oh my god, that was very sweet. Like being right there, like the genuine expression that he had when he saw the shirt, the Tom Petty shirt, like. It was
what?
It was amazing to see. It was amazing to be there, and I just really hope that like this whole thing to just kind of call back to what. Yes, that exactly.
Yeah,
it was so good. Like this whole thing has grown into something so big and so much better, and I hope that these guys really truly understand like how much we all just really enjoy them and their presence and what they do and everything that they've done for the Army and everything that like to bring this community together the way that it has been so much fucking fun, man. This whole weekend was a fucking blast, and I'm so glad that we were able to like y'all, all of y'all did it, y'all organized it and orchestrated it, but like to be able to see that and be there like was so sweet and so nice. We have such a good group of people in this whole thing, so thank you everyone. Yeah,
we really do.
I was represented in that video by the exit sign over Paul's shoulder because that's the exit that I walked out of.
I'll say, is Belford gone yet? Okay, now do it.
Now do it.
I knew it, Paul.
If you would admit that Meowm is a thing, I would have had Jen, but you couldn't keep dismissing Meowms, and that's what happens. Anyway. We're actually running out of time because I got to go soon. But
we're getting that time, y'all. This lasted a lot longer than we expected. So we don't have any
to talk about.
Sunday.
So we had an after party. It was a good after party. We went to a couple different places. Of course, we went to the first place that Drew suggested was closed. Shocking.
We signed a contract.
Oh, we should do the quick thing about the contract. That's true. The contract. So some group
still searching for it on the streets of New York right now.
D2A, whoever that group is, they wanted us to sign a contract for us to face them in a match. And Nico presented to Alex, and I wasn't having it, and Alex and I weren't having it. So I decided and said we weren't going to read this fucking contract because we don't read. We're heels. We don't read.
We don't have time for that shit.
We had time for that. So we grabbed it out of his hand. I tried to pull a really gangster move. I took Doman's cigarette and tried to lit it on fire. It did not work at all.
Cigarettes don't light things on fire.
I was trying to have because really you weren't around. I was going to go for you later, but I didn't know where you were.
You didn't invite me to these things.
This one I crashed. I just happened to be there. I crashed.
Yeah, me and Alex kind of were just going for it.
So I grabbed it. I grabbed Doman's cigarette. Started. I got a little bit on fire. And the best part, even though it's not lighting, is Drew and Ben are totally going, yeah. So I totally back. So we ended up shredding the contract. I wiped my ass with the contract. I threw the contract to the ground, stomped it a few times, and the cops were pulling up because they thought an actual fight was happening.
The cops actually pulled up. The cops came, pulled up, got out of their car, and they got out like as soon as everything was like kind of calming down and like everyone was walking away. And I just see the cops get out and look around, and I see them just get right back inside.
Well, he does that really fun. So
this isn't a big deal.
It was a fun moment. It was a fun moment.
Okay.
So
also the match that we're having with D2A, even though the contract got ripped up, is for the John Regoli Memorial Trivia-thon, Trivia Four-thon, or hashtag Trivia Four-thon. It's number 2, yeah. So we will be facing D2A for that. Check out thon.donordrive.com for all the donor information. And there's a Google Doc with the schedule. But yeah, so check all that out. Trivia, hashtag Trivia for Thon.
There you go. Perfect.
Great job.
Yeah, it was. So after that, Drew started taking us to a bar that was closed. Shocking. And this is all the time they had left ahead of us. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm hanging back. We're talking to a couple people, trying to make sure everybody goes. And Kim is texting me. All right, we're closed. We're going to this next place. What? It's like halfway through we're getting there. I don't know, but we ended up at this place called Fred's, which was great. It was a nice place. There was it was like a bar on one side. There was like a wall, and there was like a entire where all the tables were. And Christian was there. All the Showdown people were in there, including Ben and Drew. And the fans that had gotten there, the Action Army people who had gotten there, kind of walked in, and it was a question of whether we can go in or not, because I guess it felt like uncomfortable. Like the bar was like, no, there's a private party. There's a private party. We can't go in. Until Drew came out and said, these guys are the party. And ushered us all in, which was really cool.
Yeah,
goodness for Drew.
Yeah.
Fred's is a really cool bar. They like benefit rescue dogs, and they have pictures of like rescue dogs all over the walls. Which
all the puppies.
Oh, the puppies.
Puppies everywhere.
Rachel, yes.
It was a great place, and we had lots of fun that night. And of course, we even forgot to mention about the Smith, but it ties into now. It was the second night in a row. Jake, shockingly, I put my shock face on that. Jake Yacovetta bought a tray of shots. Everybody. The second night in a row. Actually, the Smith didn't even do shots, so it was like a clean pour or something like
that.
1.5 ounces in like tumbler glasses.
Yeah, that's what did me in on Friday night.
Sure. We're going full out with shots on Saturday.
Sure.
Got a lot of people, Kelsey.
Yeah. I was good, and then I wasn't good.
Oh, the Kim Denizio effect, is what that's called.
Yeah, apparently it was contagious.
Saturday was fun. Saturday was nice. We had a good time hanging out with a whole bunch of people. We got to talk to a whole bunch of people and just interact with friends and just be able to chill out a little bit. So it was really fun to really talk to everyone that's involved, get to meet people. Oh, man, I had a great time. Super thankful for all of the people that I got to meet and hang out with, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great time. We ended up going to another bar that night too. Afterwards, we kind of went from bar to bar. Was it to Gin Mill? I think
the Gin Mill. Gin Mill, yep.
Yes.
So, I don't remember having at that point, but I was drunk out of my mind, and I don't remember a whole lot of that. To be honest with you, I know I texted somebody. I got pictures with Mark and Roxy at that point, but then I don't know. I don't remember the rest of it. I don't know if anybody else does, but Alfred, you were sober, so if you have any stories from there, I think you have your dance-off story, don't you?
Yes. And you left me out of your dance-off story last time, so guess you don't remember I was part of it.
You were part of my dance-off story?
He asked me to dance first because he said my hair matched his outfit. He's like, hey, girl, we matched. Come dance with me. Come grind with me. And I'm like, no.
I don't remember that. Yep. I don't remember that. No. I just remember him challenging Matt Kearns to a dance-off and doing the way, I don't even know whatever this is. And then Kearns like doing it, and then and the guy kept trying to get Matt to dance. So finally I had to start doing the Bernie and the truffle shuffle and the stanky leg, and I thought about I did a little whip and nay. My milkshake brought all the weird New Yorkers to the yard. What can I say?
It did. It worked well.
Yep.
And the dude was filming it the whole time. As soon as I started,
the whole time.
He filmed it, and
there's a video out there that we should
Yeah, it's viral somewhere.
Somewhere on the internet. They're like, look at this white dude trying to dance. And,
we're gonna have to find that on the internet.
Yeah.
The white dude knows Spanish so well, but he is very white at dancing. So.
I keep googling white dude dancing in New York, and it's not. It's never
yeah, play around with the words a little bit. I'm sure it's there.
Got it.
I don't know the algorithm, so but yeah, great trip to New York, guys.
We gotta.
Yep.
I don't know. Anybody have anything else to say about it at all?
I'll just say I have to really shout out Ben and Drew. The whole entire trip, my phone kept dying, so I got pictures with barely anybody. Finally, at Fred's, they came up to me and they're like, we're getting a picture with you. We haven't taken one yet. Come with us. So I finally got my picture. Smets did the same thing. He's like, hey, we got to get a picture. So hopefully next time I'll get more pictures with people. I have a new phone.
All
battery won't die.
An iPhone.
Yeah.
Orlando, so you can possibly go up against me and Trivia on stage after my name gets picked, because we're gonna stack that we're gonna cheat to win, Andrew Guy style. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So that
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be amazing. I think that's such a great thing that they're doing for everyone, to give everyone the opportunity to do that. I mean, that's a great draw for the show for sure, because there's plenty of us that would love to do that. I personally would not.
Nope.
But I would gladly give up my ticket to anyone who is super pumped for it, but I don't think that I'm going to Orlando, so I might try. But I am trying to go to Spectacular and go to Disneyland while I'm in California, so I'm saving for that.
Yep, I'll be at Spectacular for sure. I'm not going to Orlando. Talk to me closer to time, but as of now, I'm not.
Talk to her the week of, and then the day.
Talk to me the week of, and I was impulse to be like, I'm just buying a ticket. I'll find a couch to sleep on. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Kelsey at the airport on the the day before.
Anyway, so okay, there we are. It was a great weekend. We had a little rush a little bit at the end. We had a little time. It's 2 hours in. We gotta go. But I had a great time. I know everybody else had a great time. Action Army became Action Family again. Yep. So thank you for Ben and Drew for that. Thank you for everybody involved, all the Schmodown people, all the action people. It was awesome time, and I wish we were still there.
Yep, me too.
Go to Call to Action on Facebook. Go to Call to Action on Instagram. Get your Call to Action T-shirts.
Get your T-shirt.
Like Brandon Hannah?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Brandon is smart.
Brandon got a shirt. Yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. We know that it got super late. We wanted to make sure that we came out and talked about New York. It was the 4 of us there, including Alex and Danny. So if you all got a chance to hang out with the Call to Action crew, please make sure to shout us out on our Facebook page. Absolutely. Go and like our Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if this is your first time here. Like, subscribe, all of that YouTube nonsense. Make sure you hang out with us all the time. We're so glad that everyone who is still in the chat is still in chat. I can't believe that you all are still here. Yeah. I can't believe how much love we've gotten from the whole community. We all have worked really hard on this whole channel for a very long time, and we're trying to make it grow, and we're trying to be better. And any constructive criticism is welcome, but be prepared because we will talk shit.
We got some feedback. We got some good feedback.
We got some good feedback in New York.
We did, yes, and we appreciate definitely, absolutely, 100%.
We also have some upcoming guests that we at least sort of half booked so far. We're still got to figure out what we're doing with it, but a couple of special guests that should make it a fun night. We have a couple
ladies nights coming. Yes.
So we're doing well. Among other nights,
we're doing things, y'all. We're working on it. We're trying.
No.
We're really working on it. We're really trying, and we really appreciate everyone who has supported us throughout this entire time. Make sure that whenever voting time comes around, you make sure you know who you vote for.
Okay.
Gang.
So be sure to share, and subscribe to the
share, and subscribe. That's what's up, Denuzio. Where can we find you?
At Paul_Denuzzo. It says Denuzio, but you spell it Denuzzo. So Paul_Denuzzo at Twitter and Paul Denuzzo on Instagram and the Team Action Patreon. Go there, subscribe, become a general if you can, because those things, this is a fun time. Danny's almost
are the best.
Some maybe soon.
I will be there next month. Thank you.
We do a lot of cool things. I mean, you get to talk to this guy. I don't know. No, I shouldn't say that. You get to talk to Kelsey. That's a bonus, at least. So.
Yes, Mr. Belford, where you at, bud?
I'll be in Orlando on October 19th if you want to talk to me. If you need a ride to Orlando and you live on the East Coast between Virginia Beach and Orlando, I will pick your ass up. So get tickets to Orlando, all right?
In Utah?
No, not Utah. Nobody cares about Utah. And I'm at Mr. Billy Belford on Twitter. I'm hilarious. Just come follow me. I all the best people follow me. Like, I retweet all the best stuff. So check it out.
Yep. What about you, my love, my sweet Kelsey?
All right, I'm at Kelseykins. Yep. I'm at Kelseykins90 at Twitter and Instagram. I also run the Call to Action podcast Instagram, so you will see me there as well. Oh, and I also run the TeePublic, so order your shirts. Please.
Get your shirts. Make sure you get your shirts. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Take a picture with it, send it to us, post it on our page. You know me, y'all. I'm Danielle. I'm hanging out. I used to be at Lady Lawson, but you can find me at Danny Joy now. DANIEEJOY. Hey. You can also find me on the Call to Action Facebook page. If you're interacting with that, you're usually interacting with either me, Danny, or Alex. Alex is also controlling our Twitter account, so make sure you follow the Call to Action pod on Twitter. All of that good stuff. Make sure you follow Ben and Andrew. Follow the action, guys. The whole reason why we're here. This stud. Look at this stud right here. Absolutely 100%.
How can you not follow him?
Look at
How
that
do you
face.
not follow them? One of the biggest and best communities started because of Ben and Andrew, because of Team Action, and because of everything they brought. So we really appreciate this community, and we love you all so much. And thank you for hanging out with us for 2 hours. New York.
New York.
New York.
Yay.
Yeah.
Woo.